Hey, what's going on, everyone? If you're new to Intuitive Perceptions, hello, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for rocking with me. All right, guys, so I just want to make a couple announcements before we kind of just get started and get into the gist of your guys' meal, just to kind of let you guys know what's going on. So planetary-wise, this month, Jupiter is in Scorpio and it's retrograde, right? So that's until July 10th, and we also have Saturn and Pluto are both retrograde in Capricorn. Saturn until September 6th, and Pluto is going to be until September 30th. Also, Uranus is going to go retrograde August 7th, and that's going to be in Taurus, but it'll retrograde back into Aries until January 6th, 2019. Also, Neptune will also be going retrograde this month from in Pisces from June 18th until November 24th. Also, guys, regarding the xLoveGistix little special I was doing for you guys, I was going to record new love readings for you guys, but Spirit and my guides told me that those readings that are up there are good for May and June. So go ahead and check those out. There's a link in the description box. Also, guys, I kind of added a little thing here. If you check the description box, you guys can find the link to my Amazon wish list. Now, kind of thought this was kind of a good idea. Anyway, the link is there for you guys. If you guys would like to participate and maybe you know, buy a deck that I'm interested in, I'll give you guys a reading, you know, that comes with that purchase. So just go ahead and check the description box. There'll be a link there for the Amazon wish list. It's kind of a way to get a reading for a pretty good price. So check that out, guys, okay? Also, I added a new service to the website. It's called Career Crux. It's a career reading. So there's a link there in the description box as well to there. And also, guys, a donation link can also be found within the description box as well. So yeah, I think that's all that I have for you guys. Oh yeah, this month we're also using the Postcards from Spirit, once again, by Colette Baron-Reid. And we're also using as well the Fountain Tarot for you guys' spreads this month. All right, let's go ahead and bless the decks and see what June has in store for you guys, all right? Father God, I open all channels of light, north, south, east, and west, guardian angels of the four directions, high councils who serve the law of one. Holy pure ones, please anchor this space now in your divine consecration to provide every single zodiac sign with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks today. And please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay every single message as they're meant and are intended to be. Gemini, my twins. All right, so in terms of traditional tarot, we have the King of Wands here, the Five of Wands, the Empress, Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. And here's your postcard from Spirit. We'll go ahead and turn it over and reveal the message at the very end of the reading, okay? And see what comes through for you. I haven't seen the card either. If you hear any background noise, I'm recording during the day. I normally record at night, but I was called to record during the day for you guys right now, so excuse any background noise. All right, you could maybe be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, maybe possibly an Aries specifically. Maybe you could be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, or a Taurus. All of those signs, either sun, moon, or rising, or you can have those signs in your chart as well. Okay, Gemini, what I'm seeing here is you are applying balance to your life. You are, I mean, all of your cards are upright, which is great, you know. But what I'm really seeing here is let's start here. What's very interesting is that these are the two cards that popped out first. The King of Wands popped out first, which I was like, okay, great, upright, wonderful, you know. And then the Knight of Wands, which I found very, very interesting. These are kind of like the heart of the matter. And these are kind of clarifying the heart of the matter. So, you know, it's interesting how we, or you, I should say, went from the King of Wands to the Knight of Wands. It would be different if the Knight popped out first and then the King popped out second. I don't see anything wrong with it. It just means that there is somewhat of a of a descending nature, you know? And when I'm looking at your spread and I'm looking a little bit deeper into it, or, you know, what I'm picking up, you know, intuitively and psychically here, what I'm getting and channeling for you is that you're trying to, like I said, implement change and balance, and you are trying to you're trying to create these things in your life, which is wonderful, you know? But I'm feeling, Gemini, that along this path, you know, and it's not bad, but along this path, you are finding that there's some contention coming up or building up, you know? And when I see the Five of Wands here, you know, this is a card of contention. This is a card of kind of petty arguments, just everyone yelling at each other, not listening to each other, you know, just strife. Now, this kind of threw me off, or at least it gained my attention to that area, you know, at least to this card. And when I'm looking at this, what I'm getting here for you is there's a review going on with you or for you this month of June 2018, Gemini. It's almost as if you are contending or fighting maybe with yourself. There's something here that has to do with not completely trusting yourself. You see the benefits that are coming from it. I mean, you're feeling balanced. You are feeling, you know, like you're able to handle things that get thrown at you or whatever the case may be, you know? Just overall general balance. And you're creating these things, which is great, you know? But then why the King to the Knight and then to the Knight again? You see what I'm saying? It's like, look, King to the Knight and then Knight to the Two of Coins. This is not so much of an issue because, you know, as balance is obtained, it's a journey, you know, and it's tackling things at one at a time, you know, or at least just tackling, there's a method to the madness, you know. But the Knight is here as well, which the Knights are on a journey to obtain some type of information. And when it comes to the Wands, it's creativity, it's passion, it's applying our due diligence to something. And then when we have the coins here, or the Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles speaks of obtaining materialistic things, obtaining balance, obtaining stability. So in me saying all of this, you're feeling balanced, you know, yeah, absolutely. But how can you feel balanced if you're still obtaining, or you're still on a journey, on a conquest, you know, on a journey to obtain the balance? How are we already balanced? You understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't want you to take this as negative. I'm just kind of breaking things down for you so you can kind of see where I'm coming from. We go from the King to the Knight, you know. It's the Knight and then the King on the quest to understand creativity, on the quest to understand compassion, on the quest to understand how we can use our passion and how we can use our ambition to obtain something or to manifest something, right? So when we're the King, we already know how to properly delegate that. We've mastered that creativity. We mastered that ambition. We completely understand it. So then we're going back to the Knight, since the King popped out first and then the Knight was second. You see what I'm saying? It's very, it's not that they're contradictions. It's a little bit more of review, and it's a little bit more of going back to an easier time or to a time of reflection. That's what I'm getting here for you, which isn't bad. If they're reversed, I'd be like, oh no, but they're not. And yet, you know, you're feeling balanced, cool, you know, and then you're manifesting and you are creating these things and you're maintaining these things as well, which is wonderful. But then we have the Five of Wands here, which is contention. You see what I'm saying? It's a little bit, it's kind of backwards a little bit, you know? So what I'm getting at here is, I believe, Gemini, that you were contending with yourself. It's kind of like you're unsure of your true potential right now. That's really what I'm picking up here and I'm getting. And it's not anything bad, you know, during these times, you know, we are going through, you know, we're breaking karmic cycles, we are revisiting things from our past lives and breaking through them, and it just, you know, we're working on things. But I believe that this Five of Wands regarding you contending with yourself is quite important, because the Five of Wands being here, given this, you know, the scenario that I just described, it means that you care, you know? So you're going back over things because you want to master it now. You want to understand the confines of your potential, and you want to make sure that you solidify it. And you are. I don't want to take that credit from you. I mean, you know, balanced creation. The Empress is fire energy as well. So this is, they speak of the Empress as the mother of creation, you know, mother being, you know, being pregnant, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a child. It could be a child for some of you out there, but I look at the Empress as more as just creation, you know, she births life, whatever that life is, you know, in a metaphoric type of context. But I feel like I keep going back to the Five of Wands here. There's something here too going regarding like reviewing past experiences, reviewing past unaccomplishments, you know, kind of saying, you know what, I didn't get this done last year, or I didn't get this done last month, whatever it may be for you. And then now you're saying, okay, I'm going to strive to get it done. You feel like you're on like a timer in a sense, like you have you're on like a time schedule, you know. And my only kind of advice, at least here, something to, you know, kind of keep in mind is like, let's not rush things. Gemini, let's not beat ourselves up if things don't necessarily maybe work out exactly how we thought they would. We didn't fail at anything. That's not what it is. Because I mean, obviously, balance and create, I'm going to keep going back to that, you know. And now with the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles here, you are on the move to understand it, you know, and to understand blockages I'm kind of getting, to understand maybe where I just picked up where maybe you thought that you wanted something, but then you kind of turned out that maybe you didn't want that after all, the end result. So then therefore you're kind of looking at your life, and you're kind of looking at these situations and as to the manner as to which you approach them, kind of now like, where did it go wrong? You know, doing like that, a review of your actions. But it's more of a, like I said, to strengthen and to understand your ambition and your purpose as to why you do the things that you do, you know? And once again, this is all positive here. But we just need to be mindful of this Five of Wands energy here. When we're on the quest to understand something, when we're on our own journey, you know, and everyone's journey is very unique, we have to keep in mind, Gemini, that we can't, I'm not saying that you are, but just in the event that you don't displace maybe any frustration on anyone, most importantly, displace it on yourself. It's a perception thing. The Five of Wands is a type of energy where it's to no avail. People are fighting and contending. In the Rider-Waite version, you know, it's funny because if you look at the card, you know, it's kind of like everyone has their wands up, but they're like, let's see, Spirit wants me to show you. I'm not sure why, but let me show you. Watch. 1 second, Gemini. Watch, Gemini, watch. Check this out. I mean, you guys probably already have seen this card, but oops. You see how like everyone kind of, it's a little bit hard to see, but how everyone is just kind of like fighting for no apparent reason. No, there's not a goal in sight. There's just, they're looking everywhere but at each other. There's no point to look. I mean, the girl in the yellow is looking up. The guy in the red is just, I don't know where the hell he is. The other dude in the blue in the background. Do you see? Everyone is looking in a different direction, and even the wands aren't even making sense. That's what the Five of Wands is. It's just petty arguments. It's petty, it's just, you know, It doesn't make sense. So with me saying that, Gemini, it's this type of energy where there's no point to it. So we always have to remember, Gemini, that, you know, this is good work that you're doing. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's all about looking at, going over our circumstances and seeing, you know, where we can improve. Absolutely. But let's just be mindful that we don't displace out of frustration, or that we don't do that to ourselves as well, where we stress over things that don't really necessarily matter. And we have to remember that it's always important that when we go over things, or when we look at situations in terms of improvement, we do it with a type of energy, or a type of, you know, attitude or discernment where we are willing to do it, and we want to do it with a positive attitude, you know, because then we end up imbibing, we end up obtaining the most from the lessons. We end up understanding, you know, and taking in more of what the lessons were about. You know, the more receptive we are, the more sponge-like that we are, where we look at everything, we go, okay, these are the lessons, okay, I have to look over this, okay, got that. But if we go into it with, you know, like looking at it as like inconvenient, if we look at it as with a negative connotation attached to it, that's when, you know, we'll just kind of seem like we're forced to do it. But I don't feel like you feel like you're kind of forced. Maybe you do feel a little bit like that, and maybe this Five of Wands is starting to come up for you. That could be it. There's definitely something here that has to do with the self, Gemini. It's arguing with the self. It's contending with the self. It's unnecessary contention, you know. And this is general, so it can be coming to you, or, you know, it can be coming directly from you, happening to you, or regarding someone involved. Or maybe, I mean, I just picked up to Gemini. Maybe, you know, you're on this great path, and, you know, maybe you just have a bunch of haters around. Like, that could be it too, you know. I mean, for some of you, since this is general, I'm just gonna throw it all out there. But I do like that you are going over things. And that's really good, and I'm glad to really see that. It shows soulful work, it shows soulful growth. And, you know, you're going to approach situations a lot differently than you probably would have in the past. Just don't put too much onto your plate where this positive ascending type of learning experience, you know, doesn't dissipate, or doesn't disappear, or turns into negativity, you know, in terms of to no avail. Okay, Gemini, let's go ahead and flip over the Spirit card and see what they have for you. If you guys can read it and see it, cool. If you can, I'll go ahead and read it for you guys. Don't worry about it. All right, Gemini. So, the card says, excuse me, dearest you, do you know how much we love you and want to help you? We are here for you, and we hear you ask for guidance, but you must let go and let us help you. You don't have to do it all. You've done your part, now let us do ours. You would be awestruck if you knew how many strings were pulled through the matrix to give you what you need and desire. Spirit has a plan, and when you sign up to be a co-creator, you need to remember to allow the partnership. It's not one-sided. Your desires and plans meet up with those of Spirit. Remember though, Spirit's timetable and ideas of how things will play out may be quite different from yours. Trust us. Spirit's ideas are amazing. Now let go and let us do the magic. Pay attention to other areas of your life, and before you know it, a miracle will have taken place. We love you so much. Interesting. I believe that that's why the Five of Wands is here. See, I was kind of getting that, like there was some type of uneasiness here. Let's not place too much of an expectation on it. You've already put you already set things in motion in terms of the willingness to look over things and to learn from past mistakes, and to learn from, you know, situations that may have not worked out in your favor. You know, it's all about growing, but then we have to let go and let God. We have to let go and let Spirit help us and assist us in the growing process. And it's interesting, I like how the Spirit card here says that you are a co-creator, but you have to remember to allow the partnership. That's very interesting, and this is not allowing the partnership. Very interesting reading, Gemini. I really like it. It's very positive here. Just remember that we have to allow the partnership, you know, because we are co-creating being after all. All right, Gemini, keep up the good work. You got this. And remember, allow the partnership. All right, Gemini, we'll see you next month.